This is a very real issue, and the pandemic, as big stressful moments will do, they reveal us. And one of those things being revealed, which those of us in the disability world have, you know, they haven't been that hidden, but a lot of we've kind of lifted the covers on things in recent years, and this is true. There can be this downright hostility, resentment. Sometimes that able-bodied people had to take all these precautions to somehow protect these weak, vulnerable folks, et cetera, out there, and resentments came. And I haven't heard much of a public conversation around this. One of the things that's been really interesting to me is the rise of DEI efforts. From what I've seen, and I have to say I'm not following super closely, and there may be also, of course, all sorts of efforts going on that I'm not aware of. But for the most part, I have not heard within big heated conversations about diversity and inclusion and equity any mention of disability in there. I really don't get it. I would be very curious if folks out there have some theories on why that is. One theory is pretty cynical, but I think it gets at the comment made here, which is, on some level, I think a lot of people harbor a very kind of nonchalant, like, well, yeah, I mean, you are disabled. Like, yeah, I mean, isn't nature kind of telling you you're kind of less than, and that you should, probably get out of the way? Like, there's sort of like a, yeah, duh, you're disabled. It's versus skin color or other ways that we carve up the population. There's something that very often is presumed inferior and sort of, yeah, obviously inferior. For all the talk of disability pride, these are shoes, the shoes I'm walking around in. Living with a disability is basically like saying, like, someone who's living in shoes that no one wants to live in. And so, anyway, I'd be very curious for folks out there who have different theories on why we're not hearing more about disability and DEI conversations, and whether or not there's been any sort of post-pandemic, if we can say that, reckoning around what we saw out there. And are there conversations happening?